It's
It's
just,
all
anyways,
good.
this is part of our Chika, for
Yeah.
our, for our audience and, future audience that if you're new to this thing that we're calling a channel, this is what Bong and I do now.
Yeah, these are part of years of culture, whether we Filipino or
No.
U.S. culture. But again, it's something that we always like. I mean, I love talking about things that a lot of people could relate to.
Where Chika meets Chaching. Chika2Chaching.
They might think it's weird. They might think it's cool. They might think it's just, wow, I never knew that kind of a situation. But I think basing what we're trying to do on just you and I talking, and hopefully people finding it interesting, and then obviously pepper it and shower it more with ideas of how to make life better, and create more opportunities for them, with a focus on Philippine products. That's what I'm hoping at the end of the day. We came up with the word Chika, but I thought that there were a lot of other opportunities to name it other ways. I mean,
Yeah.
if out there, as they listen to this, come up with another name that would resonate more to people, that would be great. But the whole concept of Chika is just talking, and then we're trying to approach OFWs or any Filipinos in other countries right now who might be listening, to just say, hey, you know what, I like these guys, these are cool ideas, and we welcome feedback, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the things that AI again, helped us out with this, and this is part of the Chika part of it. So we were toying on a logo with a Chika, with a number two, with a Chaching. So that's kind of, you know, I know you kind of blurted it out, saying, "Hey, these are the things that being recommended to us."
Mhm.
And we're not ashamed of it, right? To ask help from AI. It's here. It's not,
Mhm.
hopefully it doesn't replace all of us, but we're using it as a tool.
Maybe just some of us that
Just
needs
some
to
of
be
us, yeah,
replaced.
right.
Just
And
kidding.
it's so true, man. Yeah, it was Chika2Chaching, right?
Yeah,
Basically,
Chika
our
to
concept,
Ching.
yeah, our
Yeah.
concept was, talk about things, whatever comes up, and then provide ideas, through our observation and experience of how we can deal with that, and other people can jump in and add into that to be able to, advise or help if you're looking at that particular channel, for you to listen to a couple of knuckleheads talk about things and try to solve, or help out. So then, of course, I came up with the number two, on it, instead of a TO, where Bong and I, there's two guys. So it
Hmm.
became Chika number two, and then Chaching. And then I look back at it, it said Chika, right? Like, Chika on the
Hmm.
second power. Like, why Chika, Chaching? So it's developing. It's not permanent yet. So we just wanted to record our journey. If this ever becomes, what we hope, as a tool or a guide, to somebody out there, at least you see that, you know we are recording the journey. So even us are going to have struggles, right?
Hmm.
um, and we want to be an example of what we're going to preach,
I
basically.
think I think that's what I'm hoping that we continue to be a part of, is really the legacy. I mean, not the legacy, but to be that transparent and really share the journey, and not saying to people that we know everything. But if they look at your background, Arnel and mine, they know that we do know something.
Yeah, we know how to
Right?
fail. We know,
But but
but we know how to
I'm
get back up. That's
yeah,
another
yeah.
thing.
I mean, I don't want them thinking it's just because I've never appreciated two guys just being random. Also, because I go, where are we going with this? But
Yeah.
we just wanted to. I feel like when you and I were talking, Arnell, we just wanted to create a format that wasn't preachy, teachy.
No.
It's just more like we're just talking, and hopefully that we do stay on focus, but also create to create that that interactiveness or that belongingness to us when we're talking, that people could come in and listen to the journey and maybe relate, and then they feel like we're pulling them in, like, okay, hey, come on, please just welcome, just give us your feedback. What do you think? What's your perspective on that? There's so many different formats out there now that I've listened to a lot of different things, and I really think that you're going to find that we are trying to strive for a little bit of everything. We want to give information, we want to be casual, but at the end of the day, my focus on this is that hopefully, whether we have one listener for a certain length of time, somebody finds it, maybe a relative, my great grandson or something, or daughter, and go, wow, that's great grandpa talking. Wow, he's full of shit.
That's his personality, really.
Personality, cool. Yeah,
I didn't see that. He always brought me candies and then scolded me because I didn't do my chores. That's dad, right?
Exactly. So that's fun. If we can think of it that way, that would be just fun for us to do, because doing podcasts and things like that, it does take time. And then if you can combine it with something fun like what we're doing and talking with someone like Arnel, who shares the same personality or sort of a mindset with me or spirit, I'm enjoying it. So this whole discussion, hopefully we continue to do that. And
I'm new to this, right? So adding on Bong was saying, and you guys are going to get used to our personality. I'm not a techie person. I'm just basically on the internet side. I'm a user guy, right? Like I use tools. That's really is it. I'm new to getting myself out there on YouTube. There's we have all of our fears, I should say. And one of the things I saw today on YouTube, there's an actress, I'm so bad with names, and she was on stage, Bong, and she said, all of the wonderful things that you want for your life, right, are on the other side of fear. And that resonated with me, like, in the morning. And even I myself, now I do this as a practice. You got your own AI or chat GPT on your phone, the free version, right? And then I just put it on there. It just says, give me a motivational quote every 15 minutes. That's kind of the prompt, right? So it doesn't email it to your notification because you got to pay for that stuff. But every time I open it throughout the day, it would have something new for me to read. And some of them makes a lot of sense. Some of them don't, right? It's kind of like, hey, I don't get that yet because
what
was that? It's like, somebody this.
So sometimes like this thing is broken.
Hey,
I have no idea what the hell what is just telling me.
So our point to this is it's just to get things out there. I know some people, they're like, well, I watch more YouTube than regular television or my Netflix, right? I'm like, wow, because people want life experiences content per se. Going back to the legacy, quote unquote, right, for us. I agree with you, Bong. Like, if people watch this and they take something out of it, that's awesome. But I think for you and I, for family to look at it and says, that made sense. Look at those two guys. You know what I mean? And it would become an inspiration, with our relatives and kids, right? And they said, you know what? Look at our parents. They tried. You know what I mean? Two old geezer that they're not the gen. What is the gen now? I think I'm a Pepsi generation, Bong. I don't know.
I have no idea. I lost the Gen Z, millennial, boomer generation. I have no idea. I lost track. But I wanna mention something there, and I think this hopefully adds more into what we're doing, Arnel, which is when I talk with a Philippine manufacturer, I always tell them, well, what's the big deal about your product? And I'm be honest about something. I'm actually getting to that point with a product from the Philippines, which is coconut. right?
Awesome.
I'm thinking to myself, how many coconut water, how many coconut chips, how many coconut jams can the Philippines come up with,
Yeah.
and get to the point where I'm always looking at that and go, what's the big deal, right?
Yeah.
So in essence with us too, and I mean, I'm going to go back to that because that's something that I've always tried to preach. But with us, with this podcast, I feel like there's so many podcasts already out there, and I'll be the first one to say that. But I feel like that's the only difference, really. Is just like what I've always been told. You're you. That's your story.
Mm,
So just be as transparent, and that's the only way you're going to be different from everybody else. It really is, because I
mm,
mean, how many times? I mean, I'm sure there's guys out there talking about exporting too, Philippine products, blah blah blah. But
yeah.
you cannot take out the Arnel equation, Ferdinand equation, and the combination of the two. Now that you have the power of two kind of thing going on, okay, that
Mm.
formula. Now we're both looking for just a formula to make it different, because a combination of components of certain things.
No, no, you're absolutely right. And I mean, I'm wearing, you see my hat, it says vendor match pro. So there's, going back, now we're talking business now. Okay. So if you guys are new to this and first time listening to us, this is the serious part. This is the chaching. Okay. So the Chika's
See,
over.
as we go, that's actually good, right? We go to
Yeah.
Chika, now it's this new
It's
Chaching.
the chaching part of it. Okay. So we kid around, but this is serious. Get your pen and paper, write everything down, right? Okay. So on the coconut export, I'm glad you mentioned that. There's actually a on the coconut meat through our vendor match community, and if you are looking to get some warm leads on your product, go to vendormatch.pro, and I'm plugging in our website. Just put it on there. Put it on there. If you're looking for a product, put it on there. Our team will help you out, source that, or connect you with a buyer. But with that being said, let's go back to this opportunity that Bong just mentioned on coconut. I know on the coconut water we have a lot of competition with Thailand, right? Indonesia, right? They're very systematized with their aseptic processes, and I'm sure we have that. I don't know your client or this particular company, but on the coconut meat part of it, we can work and help them connect with a buyer because on the coconut meat part, if it's processed correctly, meaning we don't have listeria problem, E. coli, those type of pathogens that we can help them out with that process and getting them export ready, that we can get their product in the plant-based community. I've worked with a lot of food processing on the plant-based side as a consultant. As you guys get to know me, right? I've done a lot of things in my life. And I know some major brands that is their I'd say even 70-80% of their ingredient deck, right, or raw material. But there's a lot of processes that we need to make sure before we do that introduction, as well as not only the introduction part of it, it's also the supply chain, right? Make sure, because we're talking volume, and continuity of that. So sometimes that's where on the Philippine side or any country, I've worked with Indonesia, Thailand, Latin America suppliers and stuff. We process products for Japan, South Korea, Europe, right? Obviously US and Canada and other markets. But it's always, if you want to play big, you gotta be organized. And through this podcast, Bong and I will come up with those things. Like, this is a huge opportunity. He's got a client. So if you're listening out there and you need coconut products and stuff, hey, just DM Bong here. All of the wonderful things that you want in your life are on the other side of fear. If you're on that, stage of your life, kind of like you need to take a leap, and at least you can see it between two guys.
Okay, so if you want two guys to push you off the cliff to take that first step, we could do that. Or
Yeah.
if you want to use that analogy, or
Yeah,
we
I
could
like
do that guy with the bungee jumping vendor, and then we'll hold on to you, make sure it's all tight, but we'll take you there. Or you just want us to open maybe the door. Okay, open the door. Say go ahead, and you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Arnel will be
Bong
on the
will,
other side of the
we'll
door.
push you. I'll videotape it, so we have proof that
Exactly.
you did the leap.
Where Chika meets Chaching. Chika2Chaching.